Okay, gentlemen, welcome to our first live coding lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to write a program that asks the user for two numbers and then performs a bunch of arithmetic operations and prints the result. So let's get started, shall we? So first thing that this program has got to do is ask the user for two numbers. So we're going to put those into some variables. So the first variable we will call num1, and we will take some input. What is the first number? Okay, and then we will do the same thing. It's going to be easier if I Control C, copy this statement, Control V, paste it, and then I can simply change this to make second number. Okay, now can anyone see anything that is wrong immediately with those two statements? Very good, yes. When you just use input, it doesn't know what data type it's going to use, whereas we're quite specifically wanting to use a number. So in this case, I'm going to force it to be an integer. So I will call this integer, and I will put the same statement here to make sure that that input is treated as an integer. Very good. This should now allow us to make some calculations. So should we start to output some calculations? We can start with a print statement. And then what's the first thing that our specification requires? It requires us to do some addition. So we will, in this print statement, we will say number1, and then we can have an plus sign, which is being shown as a string, and then we'll show number2. And then we'll give an equal sign. Okay, so this is going to give us number1 plus number2 equals, and then we can do the calculation right there inside the print statement. So that's number1 plus number2. Okay, shall we give this a go, see if it works? Because it's always worth trying parts of your code rather than waiting for the whole program to be finished before you test it. So let's press play. With Colab, often you have to wait maybe up to a minute to get into the queue and to get a compiler. So we'll just wait for a moment. Note to self: click the button before we start in future. Okay, still waiting. It will come up momentarily, I'm sure. Excellent. Right, so we've now got ourselves a session. So let's put in the first number, can we? We'll make this a nice simple sum. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Excellent. Now, we can now do the remaining arithmetic. As you can see here, we need to then do subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we've got a special case of division where we don't want the decimal, and then we're going to calculate the difference. What we can do to make our lives easier is copy and paste. So I'm going to Control C for copy, and then I will paste several versions of this with Control V. Second one is going to be minus. In this case, we can simply change minus for minus. Next one will be multiply. In Python, well, in maths, multiply might look like an X symbol. And we can put that for the printout. But when we want to actually perform a calculation, we used to have to use the asterisk symbol. Then the next one is divide. Now we don't have a specific character for division, just like in maths, but in computing, that is the divide sign. And we can also change that in the definition, in the calculation. So we've done addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we've got division. We want divisor and remainder. Okay. Now we use some slightly different calculations for this. So this number 1 divided by number 2 equals that. That will give you just the integer part of the division. Then we want to add a remainder. So we can put remainder, and now we can go and calculate the remainder. Now to calculate the remainder, you use the percent sign in Python. So number 1 percent number 2. Let's put some, there we go. Okay, so that one should give you the number is this number, remainder, and then this number. And finally, we want to calculate the difference between these numbers. So let's edit this here. So difference between number 1 and number 2 is, and then let's just say number 1 minus number 2 is going to give us the difference. Okay, shall we give this code a go? Right, we've got a syntax error. Where do you think the syntax error is? Can anyone tell me? Very good. It's in line 11. And if we look here, the syntax error will tell us what's going wrong. So perhaps I forgot a comma. Perhaps I did forget a comma. Can anyone see where the comma should go? Very good. Let's try there. So we've added a comma. Do we think that is now going to work? Let's give it a go. Okay, this is looking more promising now. So if we say the first number is 2, the second number is 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Very good. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Looking good so far. 2 divided by 4 is half. Also looking good. 2 divided by 4 is 0. Remainder 2. Also looking good. However, difference between 2 and 4 is minus 2. I mean, that's not quite correct, is it? The difference between those two numbers is 2. But luckily, Python gives us a function that can help us here. If we only want the integer part of the number, regardless of whether it's positive or negative, we can use the abs function to get an absolute number. So let's run this again and see if this helps. 2, 4. There you go. And now, just for certainty, let's try it with 4 and 2. Is still 2. There you go, gentlemen. Right, now it is your turn. If you'd like to open your worksheets, blah, 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 on you go.